This is Garrett Fry, the 3D digital matte painting sequence lead for the cemetery sequence, and we're taking a look at shot 1926. So let's play that. So in this camera move, we're drifting forward through this cemetery, and we have a bunch of different open areas in this cemetery. So I would say everything is game. All in here. You can compose this to be whatever you want it to be. I personally don't have any affection for this gravestone right here, although you could work around it. So feel free to put anything you want into this area. All this stuff back here is looking really nice and beautiful. It's just this area here that you would like to, I'd like to see more stuff being put into that area. So large gravestones, small gravestones, and really it's up to you to figure out how to compose this shot. So you have the background, looks great, and now put in some really strong foreground pieces that's going to strengthen the composition of this shot. Also, you have some really cool lighting going on over on this side of the frame. You can see that there's these kind of gravestone shadows that are coming from off screen. That's really cool. But then when you get into this area here, it's pretty much all in shadow. And so what you're going to want to do is like take this look that you have right here and move it around to this side of the shot so that we can have some more interesting lighting conditions going on here. So when you put your gravestones in here, they're not all in shadow. And that's why this one right here looks kind of boring, and is because it's all in shadow. But if you were to bring the light in primarily by putting light on the ground, then you can put gravestones in there and it can have that really beautiful, nice rim light to them. And you can get some of that dappled light in there and things like that, which would make it look really nice. So like with this camera move, everything it's a 3D shot. So you're going to have to project everything onto 3D cards using that 3D camera that comes with this shot. And everything probably from about back here back could be cards, and moving forward you're probably going to have something a little more complex. How complex that geometry needs to be depends on this camera move. So if you're in the best way to figure that out is to do a bunch of tests. So do a bunch of tests, figure out exactly how complex your geometry needs to be based on the parallax that you're seeing within those objects. And the closer to camera, the more parallax you're going to be seeing. And the more orbiting or movement of the camera, the more parallax you're going to see in those objects. And so, yeah, so there's a lot to be done on the shot, and primarily making this foreground have a really strong composition. Before starting out on the shot, it's really important to familiarize yourself with the extensive photo reference in the library. It is worthwhile to do quick matte painting concepts so you can start to understand what kind of photography works for what particular situation. Also, make sure you're utilizing the asset library, especially for those shots that require continuity between environments. These assets can be a huge help, and remember that every asset has high resolution photography, so if the asset is not high enough resolution when rendered, you can overlay it with photography.